Through my learning this semester, I have come to realize the significance of using technology in the classroom, going beyond computers and their standard programs. After first reading Jonassen et al.'s chapter entitled "What is Meaningful Learning?", my negative perspective of technology began to alter. The chapter spoke of how it was important for students to be actively engaged in order for meaningful learning to take place. In this chapter, I also spotted a very familiar idea, that technology was too often being used to simply reproduce what the teacher says, rather than bringing students' own ideas to life. This resembled most of my ICT education at school. In our first few lessons, I also realized how important it was for teachers to be enthusiastic about technology they are using, in order for students to hold that same enthusiasm and learn from it. But my real turning point came on practicum. I was placed in a kindergarten class in a school in Sydney's west, where the interactive whiteboard was the dominant source of technology in the classroom. My cooperating teacher would use her IWB for introductory activities, but also sometimes for a culminating activity too in her lessons. The students were so engaged and eager to take part. This made me curious about using it, and I spent my first lunchtime playing around with the whiteboard's functions and thinking about how I could use them. It wasn't long before I had made a sorting activity for my first lesson. I was amazed. It was so quick and it was easy. Using the IWB for lessons helped me create a student-centered learning environment in which students made the decisions and I would just facilitate their discussions. This aligned perfectly with my philosophy of education and the teacher that I aspired to be. Seeing the engagement of the students and their responses to my enthusiasm in lessons reinforced for me just how important it was for the teacher to have a positive attitude and be excited about technology, for students to be just as motivated. I know IWBs are not all that the term technology entails, but now that I know how to use mind mapping, podcasting, and digital storytelling software, as well as knowing how to access many other sources of free educational software on the internet, I've finally developed a positive outlook on technology and its benefits. And if I'm making the most out of it, so will my students.